Good morning, owner operators. This is Christian coming to you live 9 a.m. Super Trucker Podcast, Voyager Nation. What we do once again, guys, is the channel is actually we share good trucking information to our community for those first-time owner operators that are looking to get into the first truck, but got questions that are not being answered. So what we do is combine a bunch of questions across our social media platform and address them here at 9 a.m. Monday to Friday. So welcome to the show. Good morning, everybody. How is everyone? So it's Tuesday. So hopefully everybody's already out there starting their week and possibly getting unloaded already, on their second load. All right, so here we go, guys. So make sure you like, share, subscribe. It helps the algorithm get this content in front of the right people. That's number one. And number two, and if you are subscribed, smash that like button. It will it will notify you when we drop videos with good information. So once again, this is geared towards owner operators, first-time owner operators, or even seasoned owner operators who are looking to elevate the business. We are available to take calls. So 863-342-5171. Make sure you get that done. All right, so covering a little bit of information. We actually just filmed yesterday, so I don't know. So that video's you're not probably going to see hit the social media platform probably within another day or so. However, it was super interesting to see. Um, the inventory levels with Lone Mountain. I know we talked about that towards the end of the show a little bit yesterday, and so as they added inventory to their list, right, it was pretty much just a few trucks, five here, three of another, two, one. So it wasn't like a massive amount of inventory. So what's kind of leading me to believe that what's actually happening is some trucks are going back. They might even be some of those some of the Lone Mountain customers. And what would cause this stuff to return? So I know everything that's kind of going on with the non-domicile issues, the English proficiency and all that good stuff. So we'll dive into that, why I think that has something to do with it in just a bit. Guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe. We do have a comment here. How about escrow? How much? Our escrow is $1,500. It's pretty much very, very reasonable, industry low, and it is collected $150 a week for 10 consecutive weeks. That's how we do that. So make sure you reach out to our recruiting 863-342-5171. All right, so let's get a couple things out of the way. So one, this pretty much touches everybody, so I just wanted to share it, guys. They do have the waiver extension for CDL holders for motor carriers during national registry implementation. So for those who don't know, they've upgraded the way we upgrade our upload our medical cards and that implementation. So it's obviously it's a government program, so it's kind of broken. So what you have to do is to make sure that you are getting your long form and you have a paper copy on you. So what happens is the following: if you are expiring, the medical clinic is supposed to send it directly to FMCSA. FMCSA then updates it with motor vehicles and all that for you, but it is not working out that way just quite yet. And they realized it's broken. So what they actually did is put this extension in here until January 10th of 2026. So they extended it from your expiration date for 60 days. They will accept you having a medical hard copy on you. So make sure you're doing that, guys. Make sure that you get a copy of that on you. Don't get caught up. Don't get put out of service for something like that. Again, sometimes when it's back office clerical paperwork, the people behind that don't necessarily understand what you would be going through. They just think it's kind of a clerical mishap and it ends there, but it does not. Because imagine being loaded, getting put out of service, then there's recovery. It is just astronomically costs you a lot of money for other people's mistakes. So to clarify, if you're going for your medical card, guys, in the next couple of weeks or whatever it may be, or even last week, if you got your new medical card, keep it on you. Keep it on you. You want to protect yourself because if they didn't get updated, you will get caught up. All right. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure, and if if you know anybody that needs that type of information, make sure you share that with them. Guys, like, share, subscribe, smash that like button. It keeps the algorithm moving forward, and it keeps us inspired to keep making more videos just like this to share with our trucking community. All right. So let's dive into a little bit about like why I think some of that inventory is there. For those guys who are shopping, those first time owner operators that are ready to jump in, it is going to open up some doors for you, right? So I get it. It's unfortunate nobody's agreeing with these regulations. At least I'm not like agreeing with a lot of this regulation and so forth. But what happens is there is going to be that collateral damage, and I think we're starting to see that here, right? So if you check it out, if you see how it's onesie twosies, it's not so much that the CDL, the non-domicile CDL, may expire, let's say in 2030, right? So a guy has a valid license till then. So the first inception for everybody actually thought like they have a couple years in order for that to actually happen. So was this going to be a slow transition, or is it going to be much quicker due to outside factors? And what I mean by that is the reaction of other people. So I do believe like trucking moves on expectations. Trucking, this is a people business at the end of the day. So one of my biggest concern was actually the insurance, because you know what happens when an insurance makes these guys uninsurable, and why would they do that, right? Not so much that they're going to be on a on a it's not an immigration thing for them, it's none of that. Strictly for them, I really think it's about lawsuit liability, right? Because it's the temperature of what's going on outside. So what's going to happen is, it's going to cause unpredictable judgments in a courtroom for them. It's going to increase the fact that, is this they know that they're going to try to spin it in a courtroom that this is negligent hiring, because what happens is not every non-domiciled CDL is some kind of menace to society on the roads and like running over shit everywhere, right? You got some pretty good people just caught up in a situation, but they're really actually good owner operators. They can actually serve as an example on how to run a business. So there's a little bit of everything there, but an insurance is not going to be forgiven for that. They're not actually going to roll the dice and see if they're not going to risk that nuclear verdict based on that reasoning, right? It's just a matter of them turning that case into corporate negligence, and all it has to do is his social media waves, and that some carriers hiring non-domicile CDLs, and then that's enough for nobody to ever hear what you have to say or explain on how this guy is safety. They're just looking at the negligence of you. So again, like as these big boy companies, or even trucking companies from 50 to 100 trucks, as they're coming up on renewal, what's going to happen there? What does that premium look like? Guys who are in those captives, if you're in a captive insurance, are you going to get voted off the island if the majority of your fleet has that non-domicile CDL drivers? What is going to happen on that end? So it's not just so much with the DMV level, but or rather the FMCSA and all that. It's also all these other things that we need to be in business. Another thing I heard out there too is like that's going to expedite what's going on is upgrading your medical card. So what happens is you're going to get your medical card. Nice. Now what happens is when you try to upload your medical card, from what I'm hearing, a lot of these accounts are frozen, or that non-domicile CDL is going to be stuck. And the reason it's stuck, it's because they're it's already, that account is already flagged. And what it is you're unable to make any kind of updates on it. You're unable to make any of that. So it would almost be like you have to show all your paperwork again, just as if you were renewing it. They're taking that position where now if your your CDL is expiring in 2030. Now all of a sudden you got to get your medical card, your new medical card updated, which we all know a medical card at the longest it's valid for 2 years. So now they just shorten that entire time span to 2 years, and now all of a sudden you're not going to be able to renew that. So we already know if you don't get that updated within 15 days, that bad boy is going to basically, your CDL is going to be downgraded. However, even with the new policy that they did the extension, you pretty much have 60 days after that. And then that's a wrap. So all of these things that are happening is why I think you're going to see the onesie twosies. There's a lot of guys that weren't able to do so. So possibly those trucks are going back. So my first time owner operators, I said all that to, kind of make you aware of the temperature of things that are going out there, what we're hearing. But at the same time, to take a look at some of the equipment, because they still have a couple trucks out there that are in that sweet spot of under 350,000 miles. A lot of the other stuff that's hitting right now is in that 580, 600,000, like mid 500s to 600,000 miles. And then that's why they have that low down payment, because they have to move it, right? But eventually it's going to skew, and it's going to get back to back to pandemic time, when that equipment was so high. You were looking at astronomical prices on trucks that had 800,000 miles. I mean, like 600,000 was considered a good deal. Like that almost became our new normal out there. So right now, like, it is that luxury to be able to see those trucks with 350,000 miles on them. Definitely under 400,000. That's probably the best nice sweet spot. So even if you had to do a little bit more of a down payment, but you're buying time in that truck, you're getting some longevity out of it. So just consider that for my people who are first time owner operators who are looking out there. Good morning, the compliance doctor. How are you today? So guys, pay attention to all that. You want to be able to source that truck. The time is always now, but again, you're starting to see movement as we talk day to day. Like, all these things are coming up, so that kind of tells you there is going to be some movement. No one here got a crystal ball or anything like that. I'm not going to tell you when the rates are going to actually spike, and all of that stuff, but I know that it has been improving. So it's going a lot faster than we anticipated. So once again, interested to see what happens next. But what we talk about here is how can you take advantage of of the opportunity that's in front of you, for those who have been prepping, for those who have that purchasing power, right? So what happens is, because you've been prepping, you have that discipline, you have that purchasing power, you're in a better position than a lot of other people who are going to hesitate because they do not have that purchasing power. So the time is now. Take a look at those down payments on there. And again, don't just use them on mine. I'm just using that because they've been good to our guys. Plenty of our guys have been using that. So just pay attention to that as you move forward. And again, guys, we are 100% owner operator based carrier. So he says, we met a couple years ago when I moved to Lakeland. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So what is it you do, the compliance doctor? Do you have a channel, or what's going on, man? It's a good opportunity to plug what you do. So here we go. We're always you looking. Oh, I didn't see the comment. You looking for a transportation manager? Always looking for some good opportunity, good people. Just give me a call directly after the show. Let's link up. Who knows? Why we couldn't do business last time, or even if we met under those terms. But 863-342-5171. Give me a call. So here we go. All right. Yeah, guys. So once again, my opinion is that everybody, as you're studying the market, whether to jump in or what the deal is, I think not necessarily every single truck that's going back is going to be in that crazy ass repo, ugly, violent manner, I think some people are going to count collateral damage. I know a few people that are starting to make moves because they're going to be actually forced out of the market, and they have a couple assets, and they have to manage that. And so, these guys aren't going to ride it. You want to liquidate. Some guys are going to have to liquidate. Um, they're going to have to liquidate and get as much as they can before this shit hits the fan. So everybody's scenario is different, right? And again, what we talk about is the first time owner operators who are going to get into the market. Yes, this is going to be an unfortunate chain of events for a lot of people. But however, the silver lining is for other individuals who have who have the qualifications and who have that purchasing power. It is that opportunity. So the real question for those guys is this enough to move the needle for you to make the decision, jump into being an owner operator and get that business finally going? Uh, I don't know. What's the question about super ego? Yeah. Mike has a comment, but it wouldn't be fleet maintained either. A mixed bag of mixed results. Yeah, that is true, and that's why I'm saying, like, there's still some stuff in there. I'm just, the point is, guys, that's an indicator that there's going to be some inventory jumping in. I don't know what about Super Ego. I know there's a Super Ego truck that just parks on the highway by my house, and just truck there over the weekend. So I know that. Um, All right, so I guess jumping back to this comment, people, just so we know, I got the compliance doctor. We met with your business partner. I went to drive OTR, but I'd rather get back into the office and be home. I just give us a call, man. We'll touch some bases. So, so here we go. We might actually have another truck available to the industry if my man actually, decides to get back into the office or home. So yeah, going back to Mike's point, yes, it will be a mixed bag of goods. You still have to, shuffle through all that. But I am saying is have that key focus that those trucks right now with that down payment on $350,000, 350,000 miles, those are the ones you probably want to pay attention to, because what's going to happen is those are going to be your rare commodities. Those are not going to stay like that forever. So your ability to have access to those type of equipment with this barrier to entry to it is going to be going away. Pin your number, please. Yeah, smart dude parking on the street, no fees. Yeah, until you get a love letter from the county. I've been there before, and then you got to pay that shit. So I don't know how much they're actually saving and how unsafe that is, man. Like the liability to that, man. It's a dark road. For those who are familiar with the Rio One, man, just park, homies, just park there, and party's gonna be over when it gets, somebody's gonna rear end that bad boy in the dark, and his world's gonna be upside down. So hopefully none of that happens. Hopefully nobody gets hurt, but I'm just saying, like, increased liability for those guys. All right. Yep. There you go. There's the number, brother man. So again, as we were talking about those inventories, that is one of the biggest things that you have to focus on, especially if you're looking to buy. The climate is going to be changing pretty much shortly. So we are here to support that. Uh, I got Benjamin. I tried sending my resume, but the email you gave me didn't work. Is there another email I can send it to? You can actually, it does work. I don't know, maybe it was a little bit of a typo, fat finger type thing or something like that, perhaps. Mike, if you could do me a solid, it is recruiting@voyagernation.com. I was on the email this morning, so I know for sure it's working. So maybe I don't know, it's recruiting@voyagernation.com. Yeah, he did call, man. And I told him to email me the resume. So here we go. All right. Again, so having your business plan, having your model as to what you're going to be buying is so important, guys. So check that out if you've been, because I have dealt with a few guys who have been waiting for January. Usually a lot of the guys like to cut it off at begin a new year, but I don't know at this point how fast it's changing, what the inventory is going to look like in January. I mean, so much can change. And what would happen is I'd hate to see that the accessibility to these low mileage trucks is going to go away and it slipped away from you when you could have made actually that purchase. Um, okay. All right, here you go. So there you go. Just send it over to us. So here we go, guys. So again, we are 100% owner operator based company where we love to leverage that opportunity for our dispatchers to always keep your trucks moving based on the customized dispatch. And so what we mean by that is exactly that. Everybody runs a little bit different. So some guys are home every weekend, some guys are out for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. What we do is respect that home time. In the minute that that an individual wants to change that up, it's so easy for that dispatcher to turn it on or scale you back all under one roof because you are the main customer. All right, the compliance doctor. You ever considered expanding into flatbed and Conestoga also? The truth is this, man. Our dispatchers, been with us for a very long time. You got decades of experience. Dry vans are our thing. Slow and steady wins the race. That's the product. I've seen those companies that have multi platforms under one roof. The problem with that is, you're a little bit into everything and the master of none. Just think about all the brokers and the customers that we've pipelined throughout the years, that we've been working with them, on-time service and all of that. I mean, we're getting phone calls from guys, before things even hit the load board. So imagine that, like, just to kind of start all that over again in the flatbed division, and even the reefer stuff. The insurance is different. So we stick to what we know best, what we are efficient at, and what we kill at. So we're killers in that dry van arena, and that's where we kind of, that's where we stick our heels. Uh, All right. So, yeah, I mean, it's always worth the conversation to see, compare apples to, what's the worst thing that could happen? We don't do business and we are in the exact same position that we are now, but we are always about exploring opportunities and dialoguing because you never know where something comes from. Yeah. So you've been doing it 26 years. Here we go. Um, all right. So resume sent. All right, Benjamin. Appreciate it. Yep, yep. We'll take a look at that. Now that we'll make sure we have it and so forth. All right, guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Help this content get in front of the right individuals. It helps the algorithm do that for us. Remember, we're not paid by anybody. Not no Lone Mountain. Not any of these cats. So we definitely depend on the likes, likes, likes. So smash that like button. It helps the algorithm, and please hit that bell icon. It will notify you when we actually drop videos. We drop them every day after 5, and we're on this live 9 a.m. Monday to Friday, whether it's myself or Mike, answering questions from the previous day and or anything that we can compile across our social media platform and bringing you the answers live. So again, for my people who are just chiming in, remember you have an extension on your medical card. This was dropped by FMCSA. So, that the implementation of the new registry has been extended. So for those guys that are out there, uh, hold on one second. I'll get to that comment. The compliance doctor, for those guys who are out there, make sure when you get your new medical card, you are keeping the paper copy. The clinic, under the new process, they don't really have to give it to you, but make sure you're asking for it because the process is broken right now. And what you want to do is ensure that you have that paper copy to defend yourself. So keep that paper copy. um And what you're going to do from there is, the extension is now 60 days from that expiration date on that motor vehicle. So you want to be able to have that. It gives you an ample time to get that updated for the process to catch up. So don't get caught up and put out a service for something like that. So again, that's for my people just joining in. Please pay attention to that. And that's what we do, is drop good info. And that affects company drivers. It affects owner operators. It affects, anybody with that CDL and when medical cards come in. All right. Like Nuker is a great company, but they require a 10 truck minimum. I'll call you later today. Yeah. Give us a call, man. Yeah, for sure. We're always here. We're here available. I got David. Hey, good morning, David. How you doing today, brother, man? All right, I got a comment with Mike right here. It says, we need that Broker Transparency Act moving. Need to save some money for shippers. Freight prices are out of control and too high. There we go. Right now, I think anything in the industry is going to help move that needle. I think you have, I think you have that momentum in the industry for some changes, to happen, and it's just about that, staying diligent, staying, everybody pushing the line. I got David making a comment. What do I got? I'm here late to the party, but I'm here. Welcome, David. We're glad you're here. Better late than never, man. So definitely appreciate you. You tuning in for sure. Where that goes a long way with us. Thank you, man. Uh, yeah, yeah. Although that's another thing, man. I don't know how much that Broker Transparency Act is gonna do, but hey, here we go. Everything right now is gonna help push anything that it would take to increase these rates for people. I got Doug Sanchez. How you doing, brother, man? Douglas, good morning, sir. How are you today? Salute. All right. So actually, in a different world, David, on your end, have you heard anything from your insurance companies of non-domiciled CDLs? We were just talking about, are they going, some insurance companies are just making these guys uninsurable. We're not talking about whether right or wrong. It just kind of gauging what type of additional regulations are happening due to what's going on out there. And you see like every single day in the social media, non-domicile, Oklahoma, all that, guys getting bagged out there and shipped out and so forth. So again, it's the insurance companies being uninsurable. Some of these guys can't even update their medical card, which then that in turn is downgrading their CDL. So it ain't even the fact that they're not going to be able to renew it when it expires. It's actually Damien, good morning. Christian, I made it in today. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Welcome, man. Did you get an opportunity to talk to Josue over there? Or how about Shelly with the insurance? I don't know if you made any leeway. If we can help push the line on that, just feel free to reach out, and we can do that. The compliance got another comment here. Call you later today. Have a sit down. You both are real transparent and humble people. Had to find the industry. Hey, we appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's what we try to do. Is just that. Is exactly that. Just talk facts and what affects individuals in the trenches, because that's where we operate. This isn't some 20 story building and we're on the 19th floor or some shit. Oh man, we're in the trenches. We're actually just two trucking dudes in trucking, trying to make it work, and that's what we do best. No one here's we're not in we're not TikTokers or none of this shit. So we do the best that we can in front of the camera. But again, the objective is to put the right information in the right people, so that everybody has that opportunity to be successful. Oftentimes you see a lot of guys, just kind of not share information and kind of hold it close to their chest and kind of being greedy about it. But there's plenty of opportunity for everybody. We all come to the table with different disciplines, with different dedication to something. So even if somebody has a plan, do they even have what it takes to be successful? So that's what we're talking about here. It's putting the facts up and not so much just people get caught up in their feelings. So remember, Damien, I know you were talking about checking out that Lone Mountain. We we're just talking about that a little bit previous before you jumped on. Check them out. They got additional inventory. I know we specifically talked about that $2,500 down payment. All right, so I'm glad you did talk to them guys to fill you in. I got Damien actually working with Low Mountain, seeing what they have to offer him. So maybe he takes advantage of it. Maybe he doesn't. It depends on how the conversation goes. But he commented, yes, plan on talking with them today. I looked around at that Volvo and the truck had a lot of issues. So we're going to talk with Low Mountain and see if they got more inventory. Yeah, they definitely have more inventory from over the weekend. I know Damien went to check out a Volvo at a dealership somewhere in I want to say it was in Tampa, Next Train, if I believe what it was. And not to put your business out there, brother, we're just kind of sharing and a lot of issues with it. So remember, buy the best possible truck you can with the money, with the money you do have. That is the name of the game. Yeah, doing great. Another day, another dollar. Let's go. That's my motto, man. Let's go. It don't matter. We got to keep pushing. No matter what this industry is going to throw at us. It's just about, ducking and diving and making sure you get back up and do it again, right? Because that's exactly what time it is. So again, guys, paying attention to all of these details matters. How does this was a spike in inventory on that website? I don't know was drumming that. I just think it's going to be unfortunate collateral damage from all these new regulations that are out there, and then giving you accessibility. So David, as you check them out, just make sure you're checking out the mileage. There's a lot of trucks there that lower down payments, but now their mileage is somewhere in that 580, 550, as high as 600,000. So what I'm seeing is that the higher the mileage is going, the lower that down payment is going to be. So what I'm thinking is going to happen at some point, those trucks with the 350,000 miles are going to be a rare commodity, and you're not going to really have that accessibility to them as you do right now. All right. All right, so here we go. Here we go, guys. So everybody that is out there paying attention to, for my first time owner operators, the telephone number is 863-342-5171. We do have an open door policy. We're here available from 9 to 4. And what we do is we welcome you to come on in. We sit down and we share everything with you from the top of it, from permits, IRPs, insurance, how to get it. Some require down payments, some do not. What's going to be better for you? Fuel card, what type of savings you're going to be looking at, the IFTAs. Should you open your own? Should you not? What's the risk? What's the reward? And we talk everything, even from letter of intent. So anything that you need in order to get your business moving, guys, first time owner operators, 863-342-5171. We welcome that conversation. We're available to help out. Even better if you stop on by. All right, so I got David commenting. I don't have any of those drivers though, but I wonder if I did happen to have, my agent would have reached out to say something. Yeah, I yes. So it's kind of hard, man. Like hold on one second, my people. Yeah, I wonder too. So even that, I mean, hold on one second, guys. Sorry about that. All right, so here we go, guys. All right, so yeah, I mean that would be great where the agent kind of reaches out and keeps you in the loop. You know, it's some of these things that are happening. I got a buddy of mine up in Jersey where one of his guys is caught up in the situation. But I guess and for him, he's already got that letter of deportation. So what's going to happen on his end? He's a good guy, good owner operator, been running the ports for many years, and shows over for a guy like that. And then that's the thing. Like, what's the risk? Like, does he even get to ride out till that time that he's told to get out of the to get out, or is the insurance going to cut his story short? You know what I mean? And fast forward how fast this is going to be able to move for him, because the minute that insurance makes that call and deems that, then you're going to be in a world of hurt. So that's one example, and that does happen because, for example, a few years ago here at Voyager, we actually onboarded teams, um, and they were pretty good, solid. I think they were running for us with 2-3 weeks already, so no big deal. And then all of a sudden, we get a call from the insurance company. So one of the guys was actually, they were like, you need, he's not uninsurable. You need to get rid of him. And obviously, they're not telling us why, and they just put it on us. They're like, listen, this is our direct request. He is uninsurable, and if you're trying to keep him, uh, you know, it's a problem with us. So obviously we got to do what we got to do, and we had to eliminate him. But they do make that phone call because we were part. We got that call on that guy. They never elaborated. I don't even think they elaborated with him. Obviously, the guy was a little was a little bothered by it, but at the end of the day, I know he probably knew why. But again, I guess he gets defensive a little bit and kind of tries to blame us and so forth. But man, when that insurance calls, your hands are tied. There's not much that you can do with it. So that was a prime example of somebody who was just in that, and the guy was uninsurable due to that. Um, you know, and it's even kind of funny. Sometimes it's a lot simpler things that cause people to be uninsurable. For those guys who are out there, uh, you know, I've seen guys not get insured or get denied because no, there's no points or anything on the guy's MVR or anything like that, but just the amount of suspensions could be child support or whatever it is, get denied because of something like that. Because again, what they're looking at is that high risk, right? So they're looking at the liability of the negligent hiring, and things of that nature. So even with the suspensions, they do have a point, because I do remember one of our guys getting popped on a suspension. Child support, said he didn't know it was coming, but the damage is real. So our guy actually gets towed like 10 miles, if that, man. So 10 miles. We didn't get the opportunity to actually call our own tow people. We didn't get a chance to shop around. It's kind of like one of those where, you know, uh, the cops already in that small town already have the tow company. Probably his freaking brother-in-law owns it or something. $10,000 to get towed 10 miles. Man, it is astronomical. Plus, my guy was loaded. So that just makes it, man. That shit should be regulated, man. That's a hell of a lot of money, man. And I think they know you're against the wall, because it's that or the cargo claim, right? It's not like they were cleaning up a scene. It's not like there was an oil spill, like none of that. It was just a simple tow, and it was in that $10,000 range off of something so simple, man, off of a simple, what was his payment, and so that's what they're looking at. So that would be a loss. That's a claim. That's money lost. So now premiums get affected by something like that. So these are all of the things that are happening out there, and that is why some people will not get approved because of something like that. And a lot of guys do get surprised. That they're like, "But my license is clean," but not really, because here we go. That is our personal situation that we lived, that we went through, that happened with one of our guys. So pay attention to all of that, because it does matter. You want to be able to focus on that, right? Every angle matters, all the details matter in trucking. and they are very costly. And that's a prime example of one of the situations that we ended up in a hole for 10 grand. All right, Timothy, good morning, sir. How are you today? Right, and please put up in the comments. Does anybody else have any kind of situations that you have been caught up and and been put in a situation because of something similar to something like that? As a matter of fact, even on the recruiting side, I can't tell you. It's like literally at least 15 people to 20 people, no problem, a year. And just think about this for a minute. Um, it- it's 15 people a year minimum where they apply and they don't even know that they're suspended. Uh, so, for example, now you're applying for a for a new company. You're looking to move your truck, and now, you know, uh, we are telling you that you're suspended. So the crazy part is that these guys are still currently working with someone, right? And it says, please do not connect. Do not connect. It says, please do not contact present employer. Cool, not a problem with that, right? He has the right to click that button on the application. We use 10th Street. I'm sure everybody has been on that platform before, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so it's not about that, but however, we are telling him he's suspended. So that's how crazy it can get because the mishap right there, not even his current carrier, the guy's on the load, we're working and we're advising him that he's denied because he's currently suspended. And again, that's just real stuff that happens all the time. And I just happen to think that 15 people is a hell of a lot of people not to know what position you're in. If they got hit the same way we did, man, that's 150. Damn, that's 100. That's a lot of money, man. Like freak, man. So guys, pay attention to that. It matters, and it can slip your mind. I've also seen people where get suspended sometimes for that PIP. And again, it's not some of these things. Somebody sold the car and then they forgot about it, and I understand all that, and that's simple, and that's not that doesn't make you an unsafe driver, but it doesn't change the fact that that person is suspended at the moment while they're driving that truck, and getting put out of service for that is a major issue. And guys, these are things that we encounter on every year. It's a common thing. It repeats itself. So pay attention. You want to actually probably, I don't know, run your MVR every so often. I know if you're in Florida, you can do your MVR check. It will tell you if you have a pending suspension. So you want to pay attention to that. We recommend that to all of our guys. It's good to check in. It's also good to check in on your PSP, right? That's free. That's free to you. You just got to go to FMCSA. I think it's free actually. Even if it's $10, it's write that off. It's a good $10 to spend to make sure that everything is going to be accurate, and that you're not caught up with any surprises. Because again, 10 miles, 10 G's, a lot of money. Uh, how much do I think it should have cost? I don't think it should have happened at all. That's my point of view. I think that's an undue expense. I think people have to do homework on that, especially if you have those type of problems and you know that. I mean, you got to stay ahead of that. It is what it is. There's nobody to blame. Like my dude should have just been ahead of that every single time. Like I just said, the resource is there. It's free. It's online. You should be checking and so forth. So again, it's about just like preventive maintenance. Everything is preventative. Everybody has a different situation and so forth, and so you got to have your policies and your procedures built around your situation. Uh, well, yeah, I mean they cancel for free, but I don't know. Even I would even took like I don't know, 1,500 is I don't know, a tow we $500 maybe, like right around there, no more than 1,000. Like that would have been fair. So put it up in the comments. What do you think it should have cost getting towed those 10 miles? I think that would have been pretty sweet, right around that mark. So, hold on. So talking about not getting towed, my people, make sure, please, for those who are chiming in a little bit late, make sure that if you are getting a medical card If you are updating, if you're getting a new medical card, make sure you ask for a paper copy. Keep it on you at least for the next 60 days of receiving it, so that you are in compliance. Right now, the process is broken, and there is a good chance that it doesn't get updated on time. And if you happen to get popped at a scale or anything like that, you want to make sure that you have that on you, because again, the process is the punishment. So please, people, pay attention to that. You want to make sure you remain compliant. All right. So that is your medical card. So if you got it a couple weeks ago, or you got it a week ago or something like that, make sure you have a copy on you. If you don't, reach out to your safety department. And this is the kind of stuff that we have to stay ahead of. So to experience more of just that, guys, give us a call at 863-342-5171. We're on standby. It is for owner operators looking to scale their business. Do give us a call. We have plenty of perks that will help you advance and scale your business as well. And for my first time owner operators, please do reach out. We're actually here to answer all kinds of questions that you may have and you're not getting answers to. All right, so that's what we got going on, my people. Doing that, and keep an eye on that inventory that's out there for those first-time owner operators. All right, so Mike says, good tow truck, 250 insurance. 2 times, 3 times or more regulatory carry. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. So then again, I get it. It's an expensive sport. So I guess the and you have limited workflow. Yeah, absolutely correct. So I get, that's what I'm saying. Don't get towed. Don't get towed for that. Like, I get breakdowns, man. I understand all that. I mean, we've even had people go tow their own trucks back because they got two trucks and whatnot. We have fleet drivers and stuff, so I've seen guys go tow their own trucks back because it's just astronomical to get it back into Florida. Again, the tow is going to be more than what the truck is worth. So yeah, for sure, that does that. I can see that. Yeah. So yeah, for sure. I've seen that a couple times a year, without a problem. Guys going to recover their own trucks. And again, yeah, nobody's going to move that bad boy for free. I definitely agree with that. So controlling what you can is the moral of the story, right? So if you know you kind of have those issues, like, man, just imagine all that hard-earned money, even though it's earned for that guy. All right. So Mike says, I think if I had tow trucking company, 10 miles of easy tow, most likely 2 to 3K. Yeah, yeah. I was thinking like 1,000, but okay. Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Because again, the insurance on that workflow, um, I could see that. But again, it also comes down to, what about the fact, like, even like if you get 95, right? I happen to know, like in Jersey, so if you have to get towed off at 95, that's not free. That's not free market. There are only like a few certified people that can tow off of 95. And then the price is like that, where if you had natural competition, you can call 2, 3 people, then the price goes down a little bit. So I mean, that's kind of fucked up, because now if you are one of 2 people that can tow off a 95 and that's it, there's only 2 phone numbers, you set the price. So here we go. So there's a little bit of that. So yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So even that, like, let's say sometimes you're getting towed out there, and you know, not all the time do you have a chance to actually research and find your own tow place. I mean, just a few weeks ago, one of our guys was getting towed, man, and I forget how many miles we're talking about. Um, but we were able to say no, no, no. We had the cop who was on scene. We had him cancel the tow because we were able to get it for $560. I forgot how many miles. Shit, man, that would be so important right now. But however, the beauty about that, I guess, would be that we were able to say, no, no, no. We researched it. We got our own tow place. They're coming now. So then that made it fair. Like, I think that makes it natural competition, and you can negotiate. Yeah. So But options equal free market, no options equal ripoff. Yeah, that's what's happening out there. So even that, imagine they already called it. You're trying to, by the time you even say, all right, let me start calling, the freaking tow truck company is there, and you never had that opportunity. And then the cop is like, get out of here. He's already hooked. It's done. And then comes the bill. He don't give a shit who's paying that bill. He's just, he's got his go-to phone number, and then that's it. And then what happens, man? Like, so jumping into I got, oh man, how many times do these two things get actually towed as a unit? And what happens next is, you know, getting it out of wherever it got towed to. It's a bundle deal. So now it's complicated because you got an owner operator who owns the truck, and you got a carrier who owns the trailer, and they're not necessarily married or attached at the hip. Everybody pays for their own incidentals, and now it gets complicated. And what happens next is the punishment. That trailer can actually just sit there for how long until there's some kind of resolution from either party, right? So imagine that. You know, imagine the tow bill is, fucking 15 grand, right? And only four of that is for the trailer, and the balance is on the truck, but he don't have it. So now we don't have, somebody doesn't have access to a trailer. Actually, that'll be my story for mañana, man. Tomorrow I'm gonna drop that because we actually had one of our trailers held hostage for a year. A year. And man, did I try everything. So, I'm gonna do that tomorrow because I gotta get the guy's company name and all that. It kind of like it's those kind of memories that you want to forget a little bit. But here we go. And then that punishment was real. Think of all the money lost, the whole year, trailer payment, insurance, all that good stuff. You're just waiting on for somebody to release your trailer because of like of dumbass paperwork, incidentals, and no common sense, and no logic applied to it. So it involved everybody, man. Fucking cops, detectives, insurance, and it was like pulling teeth, man. So that will be my story for tomorrow, because I think Mike, you're right, man. You have to pay attention to this, and I don't think a lot of people actually see what happens next. Obviously their immediate problem is the truck. Their immediate, they're trying to get the truck back on the road, and they're handling what they have to handle to make that happen. But it's a holistic problem. It's other things started into motion when that event happened, and so there you go. Ideally, if you can tow the two separate, that would be, in an ideal world, that would be the best solution. But is that possible? How many times can you actually get that done? It takes a pretty savvy safety person to be able to handle that. They're trying to clear a scene if it's an accident, and good luck getting that unhooked, and two tow trucks there. They're just trying to clean it up as quick as possible. Yep. So tomorrow I'll share that story, how they held hostage one of our trailers for a year. Uh, uh, we got a comment here. Good job, guys. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. It means a lot. Keeps us pumping videos out. Keeps us sharing information. Obviously, we don't get a check from no mountain or anything like that. We don't, nobody's cutting a check for doing this. So that this is what gives us the energy and the momentum. Yeah, and it also takes a cop who is not willing and ignorant. Yes, that's the point. There's a bunch of guys like that, man, and it's just like we don't operate with that common sense. And again, man, I think verbiage is everything. Again, is how you say things. Because when you're dealing with those kind of cops, man, one simple twist of a word can mean the difference of them helping you to try to get your fucking trailer back, and the other one is not. So like, it literally comes down to reading the guidelines on some shit and just being savvy with that. It is, like I've said, I mean, we have been in a position, I've seen, touched it, or a guy is like, literally, the guy has a company trailer in his yard. The manager is looking at it from the side of the road, Cops show up, and he's like, "You step 1 foot on that property of the guy, you will be arrested." And he's like, "Cool, that's a stolen trailer." He's like, "That's a civil matter." So it's crazy. So the guy that's trying to recover his trailer ends up almost getting arrested, but the guy who stole it, like, he's good to go off of some verbiage. So yep, that's what happened. So actually, I'm gonna share that story tomorrow in detail, how we lost the trailer for 1 year, and we actually how my trailer was kidnapped for 1 year in Virginia, and then we got him back. All right, my people, I got to get to that day job. Welcome any comments. Please post them up. Any ideas, anything that you think we should cover that's out there, please put it up in the comments. Do not forget to share, like, and subscribe, and also smash that like button so you get notified when we drop videos. But please smash that like button. It helps us it helps the algorithm get this in front of the right people, and we push forward. All right, everybody. It is Tuesday. It is Tuesday. We're creeping up on that midweek. Um, so I got Mike. I was threatened to get arrested for someone illegally parking in my drop yard. Yes, yes, yes. He did. He did. That's another story. Actually, that's a Thursday story. Um, if I share with everybody everything that went along prior to Mike almost getting arrested, um, don't worry, we got bail money, EFS checks, and all that good stuff are on standby, so he was good. But what happened is there's so much that transpired to line up to that, uh, where it's just like it's how one manager was not able to step on private property to get his trailer, and then how Mike was told, get that car out of your private property, or it's a business, but still get that off the property or you'll be arrested. So fucking same scenario, two different outcomes, just depends on I guess the mood of a cop, right? So here we go. um Pretty eye-opening, guys. So it's always about protecting your business, staying savvy, staying tuned and honed in. All right, my people, that is the show for today. So remember, first time owner operators, keep an eye on that inventory. If you have purchasing power, the time is probably now. Especially if you're looking for those low mile used trucks, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, and make your move accordingly. Because my opinion is, in a short in a short amount of time, you're only going to have high mileage trucks hitting inventory, and then your options are going to be even more limited. So pay attention to that. For all my other people, 863-342-5171. Do give us a call. Love to speak to you and see how we can possibly do some business together. All right, guys. And remember, if you're a small fleet and you're looking for an opportunity to dispatch your own trucks out of under our flag, also give us a call, 863-342-5171. We got plenty of trailers on standby. We got the insurance ready to rock and roll. We are here to help you leverage your business. You can build your empire under someone's flag and then do it all for yourself and a few. So don't miss out on that opportunity. Anything is possible with the right people. So give us a call, 863-342-5171. All right, my people, be safe, drive safe. Until tomorrow, be good. Oops.